Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about my dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of my rarest Princess Tiana merchandise, but not just the rarest. It has to be rare and have a really wild story about how it came into my collection. Because if I was just doing my rarest pieces, this would be a really long video. And I already plan to do a video of my entire Tiana room next week because this is Tiana's 15th anniversary. And Tuesday marks exactly 6 months to the day of her anniversary. So the reason my American Girl Tiana is here is not because there's a wild story to go with it, just because it's, always nice to have something on camera that's cute to look at. So now I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to start with a doll I recently showed in another video, but I didn't give enough story behind the doll or even the what kind of doll this is itself. I briefly mentioned, sorry, there's a lot of glare. I briefly mentioned that this is a limited edition Disney Store doll from, it used to be called at one point, let me open it up as I talk. It used to be called the Disney, maybe it was a nickname, the Disney Heirloom Collection. So as you saw, there was that plastic cover, or the cardboard cover, and this is the plastic. And the doll actually pops out once more. So we used to call this the Heirloom Collection because if you read the certificate that comes with it, I think you should have a good view of her now. It says this limited edition Tiana doll. Oh, it does say, okay, at the end it says, we hope you will enjoy this heirloom doll for years to come. And in the beginning, they were all limited edition of 5,000. And this particular doll is stamped 3569. And she's also stamped with that number on her back. And the prices, well, if I remember correctly, because it's been scratched off the back of mine, were, I believe they were in the beginning 130, and they also came with either the Blu-ray or the DVD, depending. This was the second doll in the series, Tiana. The first one was Snow White, and the story behind how I got mine, because I didn't buy her right away, she had already gone up a little bit in price by the time I was both, deeper into the 17-inch dolls, which I collected all of them, and then she became my main princess. And somebody was selling her on a Facebook doll group. And one thing you need to know about Disney, the Disney selling world or community, it's full of scams. So never do what I'm about to tell you because it's just not safe. I mean, it's safer in some communities, but definitely not the Disney community. Because I'm in Canada and the seller was only willing to sell to the US and I didn't have a proper way to ship to the US at the time, she would only accept selling her to me 300 US, so that was about double what the original price was, if I paid her friends and family through PayPal, which left me completely uncovered if she scammed me. And she was very nice about it, and I did have a good feeling that everything would be fine. I was like, protect me, doll gods, or whatever you would say. And she forwarded me the phone number of her church, and she was like, you can call up my church and ask, what kind of an outstanding citizen I am. And I was just like, it's fine. I mean, I'm going to take the risk because I want the doll. And so I had it shipped like I do now still with everything else. I had it shipped to a UPS in Buffalo, New York, picked her up. This was years ago, by the way, so I couldn't even tell you how long ago. I guess maybe about 10 years ago, maybe more. And I was so enamored with this doll. Do you see these rhinestones on here? So the dolls, the limited edition Disney dolls, they come with these plastic rhinestones all over their dress. But it didn't sparkle enough for me. So I popped off all those plastic rhinestones and replaced them with Swarovski crystals. And this was the first doll I ever did it for. But over time, I ended up doing it to all, or most of my limited edition dolls, the 17-inch Disney dolls, and some of the designer dolls, which I'll talk about the designer dolls in a little bit too. So I don't think I'm going to keep everything up here because I'm handling a lot of delicate things today, not just like dolls that are, play line, but still luxury play line. And I don't want to do that because limited 5,000, and her price has not skyrocketed the way some other Disney princesses have, but she's a lot more expensive to obtain now. So I'll just like roughly put her away just to get her out of harm's way. And then, so I'm just kind of showing you if you're not if you were never into the Disney limited edition world, this is how we were like hanging the dolls. But that's as good as I'm going to get it for now. I'm just going to put her aside because it requires proper attention. And I'm going to jump right from a very delicate doll to the most delicate item in my collection. It was something I dreamed about having for years. I never thought it'd be possible. And anybody who's watching me because they are into dolls and not other forms of merchandise, this is not going to mean anything to you, and you're going to think that the popularity or the scarcity, rarity, value behind it is like out of reality. But so give me a second. I just have to be very careful with it. It is a Disney snow globe, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bring it close enough that you're gonna see all the wonderful details, because like I said, I have to handle it like with kid gloves. So this snow globe, wait, good. Cool. So this was released at the time of the movie when it was in theaters, which means it's 15 years old because her 15th anniversary is coming up in December. And when with certain lines of Disney memorabilia, you're not just competing with like doll collectors or other, in my case, Princess and the Frog collectors. You're also dealing with that type of merchandise collector. So there's a big market for Disney snow globes, and this is a really beautiful one. I'm not just being biased. So the value at the time that I was looking for it was anywhere from 800 US to 1200 US. That was what it sold for. And they didn't have to be in brand new in box condition because they were just so hard to come by. And if I can't, I'm going to watch back this video before I upload. And if I can't show you how pretty it is, I might just do, like an add-on at the end of just like zooming in on all the details, because this is just one of those pieces I still to this day, it's been years now that I've had it. I can't believe I have it, because I was not going to pay $1,000 for it, because that's 1,000 US Canadian currency. That would have been like 1,500. But one day I think somebody sent me a link on Instagram, or I came across it myself on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling her. I used to live on the outskirts of Toronto for many years. And somebody in my town, like we ended up meeting at the grocery store I bought my groceries at, was selling this for $75 Canadian. And I don't even know what kind of nervous I was. Was I dreaming? Was it, I was going to get there and like some people were going to jump out of a car and jump me for $75 cash? I was like, there's no way somebody's selling this for $75 cash. Either they don't know what they have, or just, like that cosmic doll intervention was happening. But whatever the case, we met up, and when I was talking to them, I felt bad. They were like, I felt like they just didn't know what they had. And they were looking at me like they felt bad for charging me so much for it. Like, oh, he's so nice, and we're taking $75 from him. And after I got this, I was just like, start the car, I got it, it's real. And I've never lost that spark of amazement for having this piece. And I have a lot of lights around me when I do these videos, so I don't think you'll be able to see, but the tree lights up. Oh, you can kind of see it. The tree lights up to look like fireflies, like what is like the scene from the movie. So yeah, I'm one of the lucky few people who have this amazing Princess and the Frog snow globe. And before I go a little bit further, I should say that I do have, if not the biggest Princess and the Frog collection in the world, it's at least one of the biggest, most impressive. And it's because I have a lot of these rare pieces that came out when the movie was in theaters, and people didn't know. I think there was like, they don't make a lot when the movie's in theater because they don't know what the demand's going to be like. And this is one of, I'm not going to show them all in this video. You'll see them next week though. But there were 3 or 4 pieces that I thought I would never own because they came out when the movie was released, and I have them all. So yeah, let me turn off the lights, and I'm wondering if I should keep this on the table. I'll see. Where can you even see it? You know what? I'm not going to keep it on the table. I'm too nervous. Okay. So the next piece I'm going to show, it's another doll, and it's what I was mentioning a few minutes ago, a designer doll. And the designer dolls are 12-inch Disney dolls. And this isn't overly rare. Like, I don't think it's really hard to come by. It's the Masquerade set from D23 5 years ago, I believe. It was 5 years. And this is, I'll take off the pieces in a minute as I tell the story, but it's the way that I acquired them. Well, it was more than just the dolls. It was a few pieces that they put in the D23 Expo to be sold because I would assume it was because it was Tiana's 10th anniversary, and I will have more to say about that later. So I couldn't get to D23. It's in California, and I was just prepared to pay whatever prices I needed to on the secondary market because it's Tiana, and I need to have everything Tiana. So again, it comes with the um, the certificate of authenticity, and this one is limited to 900 pieces. So 50 or 5,000 for the 17-inch doll that I introduced earlier, and this is 900. And they did these masquerade dolls for 3 characters at the expo. Random characters too. It was like Tiana and Naveen, Aurora and her prince, Philip, and then the enchanted couple, it's Giselle and, is it Prince James? It's something like that. No, I think that's the actor's name in the movie. So I just assumed I was going to have to spend a lot of money to get these. And I have an Instagram account basically for my Tiana collection. And somebody reached out to me, somebody I'd never spoken to before. And she's an Aurora fan. And she was going to go. And she literally just volunteered, DM'd me and said, hi, I'm going to the D23. I'm going to grab all the Tiana stuff for you. How amazing is that? And I was just like, well, what do you want? Like, what can I, how can I compensate you? She's like, no, I'm a Aurora fan. I understand. I'm going to be there and I can help you out. Like, just helping me out for the sake of helping me out. So I was saying there are a lot of scams in the Disney community. They're also very amazing people. Like, and I should really stress on that too, because I don't want to leave negative energy out there. So what this girl did, she went to the expo. She slept, because when you're going to the expo for the merchandise, you have to like sleep in like a hall, like you're sleeping on a floor overnight to be first in line to get the stuff because it's so rare. And so many people go there just to scalp. And so she did like I don't know if it was a live streaming or if she just sent me a video of her doing it, but I saw her entire scramble when she got in. It was like, make sure she got all her Aurora stuff, make sure she got all my Tiana stuff. And she got me everything, and including there was this set, like a Facilier, you'll see him next week, figurine. So he's not like a doll, he's like made of resin. And it was huge. So she's like grabbing all these big things, all these little things that she was going to split with me because it was like, there were sets. And she wanted nothing in return. After the expo was over, she went to FedEx, which was right across the street, and she put all my stuff in one box. This is where the story gets wilder than her volunteering. This is where it gets like a negative wild. She put all my stuff in one box, her stuff in another, to ship them to our addresses, mine in Canada, hers in like the other coast. And so I don't remember the exact play of events, but what happened was the 2 packages, she went home, received my package. So she got all the Tiana stuff, and her Aurora stuff was about to go through the border to Canada. So she wanted to stop it so that it wouldn't incur like all these customs fees and like extra charges being shipped back to her. So she intercepted the package, and then my package made it to Canada. I got it, and all of a sudden we were just like, well, where's your package? Her Aurora package. And FedEx had lost all of her stuff. So I got mine, the person who didn't even go to the event, and this poor girl who paid all that money for her ticket, slept outside, did this like amazingly good deed to help me get my stuff, didn't get hers. So I was like, I couldn't be excited about my packages. I felt like such a jerk. Like, this girl did so much. How is it possible? Like, how could, I'm going to keep saying the doll gods, but how could the doll gods have provided me and just like this, like messed her up? So, I started storying about it, and my ex, my partner at the time, this is like I said, 5 years ago, he worked in a job where he had a FedEx contact, they were his vendor. So he got on with his rep and was, giving them all the information saying, you have to find this package or we will, like, my company will start using UPS. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it might have, it must have. So because my ex did end up coming back with finding the package. And I don't remember how long it was. I just can only imagine what this girl felt like for those, if it was 2 weeks, if it was a month, if it was 2 days, how she must have felt. Because I felt, that much of it. And I felt like I just felt like unworthy, you know what I mean? And so once she got her package, then I could finally sit down and enjoy all my Tiana stuff. And so that's why it's like, every time I look up at my D23 stuff, D23 stuff, I just think, wow, that girl, thank you. And I'm so grateful she was able to get, you know, her stuff, because that was like, if she hadn't helped me, there would have been no drama for her. Like there would have been only one package. So it was like, there was nothing I could do to feel better. Like I couldn't say like, you know what I mean? Like you just can't help but feel like you're at fault, even though like I did nothing wrong, but still my part in it. Anyway, so you know, I'll show you. The next piece I'm gonna show is also very delicate, very fragile, and it also involves the same X, how I was able to acquire it. And this is another one of those things. It's a little resin figurine. Let me get out of the way so you can see her. This is called Walt Disney Classics Collection, and see how small it is. And there's another piece they're two separate pieces, but you know, you display them together because it's the scene from the movie. So that's Tiana one piece, and Naveen on the balcony. You can barely see him because I'm wearing a green shirt. I'm wearing a Naveen shirt, in fact. Oh, can you even see? I feel like getting more and more in the way. Anyway, this was another one of those pieces, two of those pieces that, you know, they go together if you want them both, where I thought I would never own them because you're competing with the WDCC collectors and Tiana collectors and Disney Princess collectors. And I don't remember what, I think the retail for them was about 200, but Tiana back then, I haven't followed prices since I've, you know, acquired her. Back then she went for more than 500 US, and he went for, I believe, 350 to 400 US. It was just ridiculous. And Facilier, because now you've got the Disney Villains collectors and the WDCC collectors and the Disney Princess collectors. It's like there are all these branches of Disney collectors. And when you are somewhat of a completist, or you want to have everything you can from your favorite movie, you're competing with everyone and you're adding to the competition. So anyway, one day my ex was he went to a different place to get his haircut, and he texted me after, or while he was, no, I think he was getting the car serviced. Anyway, he was up in a place we didn't live. We never ventured there. And I actually think now that I'm talking about it, he was getting our car serviced. And he texted me and he was like, "Do you have these?" And I was like, what? Like, did you find this picture online and you're like trolling me right now? He's like, "No, I'm waiting for the car. And I walked by this random jewelry store and they have all these like Disney things. And I don't think I've seen this in your collection. Do you have these?" And I was like, "No, I don't have those." Like, "Are they for sale? How much are they? Pay anything." And he's like, "I think they were like 200 Canadian." And I was like, "They're retail? Less than retail?" Because I think the Canadian price tag on it would have been more than that. So it's like, yes, 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 I need them. I've always needed them. So that's how it was just like very random. And it's not as wild as some of the other stories I've told, but it's like a nice little one that like I would not have paid. I think I would not have paid. I didn't have to in the end. But there were so many things that I think I wouldn't have paid the price, the going rate, the secondary going rate. But luckily I didn't have to. And I don't know if they're porcelain. Um, but as you can see, like her dress is so beautiful. It's got this like gorgeous shimmer on it. Like I didn't know how pretty she was until I had her in person. Like I like the paint job on the face, because a lot of times when you're collecting Disney memorabilia, the paint jobs, and I have such a bad luck with Tiana paint jobs, but she is perfect and flawless. And I'm gonna get her out of the way because the next story I have to tell might get a little long. So this might be one of those times where you can fast forward, speed up, look at the dolls, do what you want to do with it. But this takes a lot of explaining too. Ooh. Okay, so I've talked about 17-inch limited edition dolls, the heirloom collection. And then around 2015, Disney Store introduced the Platinum doll collection. How do I show them both? Where it was the limited edition doll, but then they would use higher quality fabrics, more rhinestones, more embroidery, and they would charge $750 US for usually either, the first one was live action Cinderella. She was by herself. She was 500. And then the animated couples that would come out would be 750. That was the standard when they started, at least. And when Tiana's 10th anniversary rolled around, by that point, all the princesses who had had an anniversary, they were getting their platinum set for their anniversary. So when hers rolled around, Aurora had one that year. Ariel had one from Little Mermaid. The two Frozen 2 had come out, so the two Frozen sisters had gotten there. It was a Saks release. Saks, different. It's a little bit different from a platinum, but it's still the platinum price and the platinum level of detailing. So there were all these platinum dolls the year she had her first milestone anniversary. And for her first milestone was such a huge deal because she's so far, unless you include Black Panther, the only Black princess. But she will always be the first Black princess because I think Asha from Wish, she's either Black or half or like biracial mixed with Black. I haven't seen the movie though because anyway, that's not part of the story. So when her anniversary rolled around, I was, dead set on getting this platinum set. I was selling some of my Disney collection to make, because I was like Canadian, I was going to have to raise. I was like, I want 2 sets. I want one to open because I'm greedy and one to keep forever perfect. And then her anniversary rolled around and I had the money saved now. And she got, instead of getting a platinum doll, they made her the doll in the blue dress, which granted, that's my favorite Tiana look. She has 9 adult looks in the movie, and that's my favorite one of all of them. Granted, they released her, it was her 10th anniversary doll, but no platinum, and they reduced the limited edition size from 5,000 just for her down to, I think, 3,500, 3,555, some weird random number. And I lost my mind. I was so mad. Because I'd been so excited like all year, not even all year, because I was like, oh, they're doing these platinum dolls for all the anniversaries. It's only 3 years till Tiana's. It's only 2 years till Tiana's anniversary. So I just had it in my head. I was so like set on it. And as I mentioned already, I have an Instagram account that is dedicated to my Tiana collection. And because I have such a cultivated collection of Tiana, I do have, like, my account, my collection, I should say, has a lot of followers. Like, people aren't there for me. They're there for my Tiana stuff. And so I made this, I can only describe it as a hissy fit post where I was talking about my, like, I guess you could say, opinion on why there was no Tiana doll when they had done, 4 platinum dolls that year. Well, 6 if you include the princes for their white characters. And they missed out on her, and they didn't do Mulan's the year before, or Pocahontas the year before that, even though they had milestone anniversaries as well. It seemed like they were only doing these platinum dolls for certain characters' anniversaries. And I mean, I'm beating around the bush. I'm being a little vague when I'm saying it now, but I was a little bit more explicit in that post, which was, I made it like November 2019. It's still up. And, I encourage people to tag Disney, Shop Disney, Disney, whatever, whoever you want to in the comments below. And it got so many comments and people tagging Disney to do better and, just to be better. And so many people tagged that somehow, I'm assuming that's how it got back to the voice actor behind Tiana, Anika Noni Rose. And she DM'd me. She DM'd me because I guess she saw how distraught I was. But she was also DMing me to thank me for the love I'm always showing Tiana. And, just to say, like, she hopes to meet me one day so she can, she said a lot. And then she said, I said I was in a story part of our conversation, that just to say to everyone who follows my account for Tiana, that our queen is listening. And so I don't want to say too much outside of what she said. I could post just, she said, thank you for showing your love to Tiana. It means a lot. It means more than, something to that effect. And, obviously I still have the conversation, but she did remove some of the things she said. There was nothing incriminating behind it. I think she was just like, I've said too much. And so because I had all this money, that was the long story I had to tell, because I had saved all this money to buy the Tiana Platinum set, I instead had enough to buy 5 of the limited edition Tiana dolls, which is, like I said, this one over here. So I bought 5 of her. I went to 5, or I think maybe I bought one online, but I had like 4 or 5 local Disney stores. No, I know what I did. It's all coming back to me as I'm talking. This was 5 years ago, okay? I brought that same ex and my best friend to, I think, 2 or 3 different locations so that I could buy, the multiple Tiana dolls that I had, because I wanted to hire somebody to make other of Tiana's looks, which you'll see in my next Tiana video next week. And then I wanted to make my own version of a platinum set. This isn't really platinum, but I wanted to have like 2 Tianas together. Sort of, this is when Tiana was wishing about her dream coming true. And this is after her dreams come true. Well, it's not the same dream, but, her dreams are coming true within this look. And this dress is taken from the Tiana doll, a Tonner Tiana doll. And it's so I have 2 of the Tonner dolls. one is now in this outfit, and so that I can have this. So, and this, because I have this in here, as you can see, it's a Beauty and the Beast platinum set, because Beauty and the Beast got one. Of course, Belle got a platinum set. However, I'm saying all this because I'm trying to put the energy out there that Tiana will get her platinum set this year, because it's 15th anniversary. There's no more excuse, Disney. And I will always wonder too if they had some kind of platinum set planned for Rapunzel, because Rapunzel, granted, is very popular, but she came out the year after Tiana. And I think with all those posts, all those tags and everything, that definitely made its way up to somebody. You can't convince me otherwise. Made it up to somebody, because, oh, they're tied in. Oh, no, she's not. So I can show, is she tied in? Anyway, so I could show her a close up at least. Let me lay her down. So, over the last couple years, we've gotten a lot of Tiana merchandise, and just look at how beautiful this Tonner dress is. This was like, when I posted my version of the Tiana Platinum, everybody was reposting it and saying this was the Tiana we deserved when her 10th. We deserve. You know how we talk like that as collectors. This is what we should have seen when her 10th anniversary rolled around. So, I'm hoping that this is the year, and that's why I want to start filming all these, or recording these videos talking about my Tiana collection, because I'm expecting good things for her 15th anniversary, because I'm a greedy collector, and as you'll see pretty soon, I have a lot of Tiana stuff, and a lot of it I haven't even posted. Like, my Tiana room has gotten so out of control that I haven't really posted anything for the last, well, I've posted random things, but I haven't posted my Tiana room, done a video tour in, I think, 3 years, if not 3, 4. So when I show it next week, it's going to be to inspire me or encourage me to get it in shape for her actual 15th anniversary, exactly 6 months later. And so that's why I wanted to do this video too, because when I show the room, I just want to show the stuff, talk about the stuff, and not have to say all the stuff that I said in here. And these particular pieces, they deserve a lot more of a background and a story time. So if anybody was curious about some of my Tiana stuff, here you go. And I'm excited to share more, even though most of my videos have been about American Girl. My bio does warn that I will talk about Tiana sometimes, and I am really excited to. It won't be all the time, because I started out in American Girl, and I have my Instagram for Tiana. But anyway, I'm just rambling now, because I am, like I said, excited to talk about my Tiana stuff, and I'm finally doing it. So to anyone who's asked, because I have been asked, I hope that it's worth the wait. You'll see. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you in another video pretty soon, because I keep posting all the time. Okay, thanks again. Bye.